He took 3 ecstasy pills and then drank beer or wine on top of that to give him looseness. And he put on rap music, and he said the devil possessed him. And they said that on the news like, oh, the poor crazy kid. I believe that. I believe the devil did possess him. You don't beat your parents to death with a hammer. And you're right. You just don't do that. People don't beat their parents to death with a hammer, brother, in their right mind. Ecstasy and beer don't make you do that. The devil did possess him. Now, you've heard me say it. The best way in the world to get demon possessed is rap music and drugs. Drugs opens up some kind of door. And the reason we have so many kids rebelling against their parents, the music that they listen to teaches them to rebel against their parents. One of the worst things about rock music and rap music, it puts in you rebellion against your parents. I'm going to tell all you teenagers and young people here something tonight. You honor your father and your mother, and that music that y'all sneak around and listen to on the computer, on your headphone, is teaching you. You say, you don't have to let them tell you nothing. You know, I'll just tell my mom and daddy to drop dead. They're not going to boss me around. I'll do. And you are not, I don't care how much you shout. I don't care how much you read the Bible. You are not right with God if you backtalk your mom and disrespect your parents. You ain't even right with God. You ain't right with God. You ain't right with God if your mama says that and you just ignore. I've seen some of you kids in here. Your mama try to talk to you and you just walk off right while she's talking. A kid that would do that needs to be turned over that altar right there, and a daddy take a belt and wear them out, or a hickory switch. Say amen right there. You don't walk off when your parents are talking to you. You don't backtalk your mom. And I know it's hard on you if you're a single parent raising kids, especially if you're a mother raising kids. I mean, I know you're handicapped, and that's you kids ought to be ashamed of yourself, not respecting your parents like you should. You ain't right with God. You don't ever call your mama the old woman. Any boy who tries to get you to rebel against your mother ain't the right kind of boy for you. If your mama says be home at 9 o'clock and your boyfriend says, don't pay no attention to her, that's the devil talking to him. Now remember, if he tries to get you to dishonor your parents, there's something wrong with him. You can tell how a boy's going to treat you by how he treats his mama. Are you listening? You can also tell what he's going to be by looking at his daddy. He ain't even going to look like him, he'll act like him. A boy will act like his daddy, and he'll look like him. He may look like this little cute stud now when he's 16. In 10 years, he's going to be just like his daddy. You're stuck with that. You better look at him. You better look a long look at his daddy. And you better look a long look at her mama. Because she's not only going to look like her, she's going to act like her. MTV tells you it's your life. Live it up. Do what you want to. That ain't true. That is not true. Not true. The best thing to do is every one of us tonight say, Lord, what is your will for my life? None of us are perfect. There ain't a perfect husband in here. There ain't a perfect wife in here. But every one of us ought to try to be as close to what that Bible said. Here's what ladies tell me. When I preach like I did tonight, she says, well, I ain't going to be no doormat. No, man, I'm not going to be a doormat. Did anybody here hear me say that a woman has to be a doormat? Did you hear me say that, Neil? Did you hear me say that, Ron? Did I say that a woman has to be a doormat? Did I say a woman has to be a doormat? Help me remember. Phyllis, did I say a woman has to be a doormat? Well, why do y'all say that? They do, but didn't you jump the gun there a little bit? I'm not going to be a doormat. Nobody said nothing about you being a doormat. That's your excuse for not doing what you're supposed to. And she's right. Some men do overstep their bounds. Some men do say, bless God, I'm the man of the house. You've got to do what I want to. And they're full of the devil too. They are. If a man abuses that authority, he's wrong. He'll answer to God for it. Christ don't force the church to do nothing. But the church don't boss Christ around neither. And the church don't argue with Christ. And the church don't say, well, my opinion's just as good as yours, Christ. He don't. He don't. It's got to work both ways. Everybody's got to be right for this to work. I honestly feel like I'm Daniel in the lion's den. I feel like at any minute this could break out here tonight and violence could take place right here in this room. That shows how bad off we are in this generation. All I've done is say, do what the book says. That's all I've done. If I've said one thing wrong up here tonight, somebody come and tell me, and I'll apologize. But if I ain't, straighten up, man. Get in line. You say, well, I just hate it why do we have to do it his way? Why do we have to do it your way? See what I'm saying? You say, well, why does he have to have? Why do you have to? Why does he have to have the last word? Why do you have to have the last word? You see what I'm saying? It's got to stop somewhere. Somebody got to be in charge. Where you work tomorrow, somebody is in charge of that outfit. Somebody got to be the boss. I don't understand ladies that go to work and they're so polite and nice to their boss. Oh, my boss will get mad. I can't do nothing. The boss will fuss it. And their husband, well, I don't care what he thinks about their husband. They're more worried about pleasing that boss than they are their husband. You say, well, I get paid. You know what they call women that do stuff they get paid for? That's right. What about the Lord? What's about doing it for the Lord, man? What about doing it for the Lord? I believe this. You say, well, if I do what you're saying, Brother Danny, he'll just run over me and I'll tell you what I believe. I believe if you'll do what that book says and do right, and your husband or your wife's in wrong, God will take care of them. Amen. I've seen it happen. I've seen it happen. You try to change him, you're wasting your time. If you try to make her do, you're wasting your time. You do what you're supposed to and let God handle your mate and your kids. Amen? Let's stand. Let's stand. Let's set our house in order tonight. Let's set our house in order.